Paleontology and evolutionary history. Paleontology is the study of history of life on Earth as based on fossils. The fossils are the remains of plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and a single cell living things that have been replaced by rock materials or impressions of organisms preserved in rock. The sediments of similar composition laid down during the same geologic events are sometimes found in different geological region, providing a time reference point. Sometimes the same stratigraphic sequences of fossils is found in different areas. With the discovery of radioactivity at the end of 19th century, absolute measurements of geologic age becomes possible. The fossils are preserved remains of organisms or traces of them or even organic compounds produced by them. The hard part of organisms are most often fossilized. The evolutionary time scale. Long before the Earth age was known, the geologists divide its history into a table of succeeding events based on the ordered layer of sedimentary rocks. The law of the stratigraphy produces a relative dating with the oldest layer at the bottom and the youngest at the top of the sequence. The time was divided into eon, era, period, and epochs. Eon, the largest time unit on the geological time scale. Era, its subdivided division of a geological econ. Era, co-Enozoic, the era of modern life. The period age in million years. Quaternary, the epoch age in million years. Recent Holocene 0.01. Some important fauna, animals, and flora plants. The modern man dominant modern mammals, birds, fishes, insects, rise of herbaceous plants, the decline of wood. The epoch age of in million years. Pleistocene 1.8. Some important fauna and flora. Ice Age, human appears, evolution of human society and culture. The period age in million years. Tertiary. The epoch age in million years. Pliocene. Some age of mammals 5. Some important fauna, animals and flora, plants. Ape-like ancestors of human appears. Adaptive radiations of flowering plants. Origin of man. Epoch age in million years. Miocene 23. Some important fauna and flora. Continued radiations of mammals and angiosperm. The epoch age in million of years. Oligocene 34. Some important flora and fauna. The origin of most modern mammalian orders, including the apes. The epoch age in million years. Eocene 57. Some important fauna and flora. Angiosperm dominance increases, further increase in mammalian diversity and origin of horses. The epoch age in million years. Paleocene 65. Some important fauna and flora. With the major radiation of mammals, birds, and pollinating insects, primitive primates appears. Era. Mesozoic, the era of medieval life. The period age in million years. Cretaceous 144. Some important fauna and flora. The extinction of dinosaur and toothed bird, angiosperms, flowering plants appears. Jurassic 208. Age of reptiles. Some important fauna and flora. Dinosaur dominant. Origin of toothed bird, first bird. Gymnosperm were dominant. Triassic 245. Some important flora and fauna. Origin of dinosaur and mammals. Era. Paleozoic, era of ancient life. Period age in million years. Permian 285. Some important flora and fauna. The extinction of trilobites. Origin of mammals like reptiles and most modern order of insects. The period age in million years. Carboniferous 360, the age of amphibians. Some flora, important flora and fauna. The origin of reptiles, amphibian dominant, extensive forest of vascular plant, first seed plants. Devonian 408, ages of fishes. Some important fauna and flora. The origin of amphibians, diversification of bony fishes, and origin of gymnosperm. The period age in million years. Silurian 438. Some important fauna and flora. The origin of jawed fishes, colonization of land by plants and arthropods, origin of vascular plants. Period age in million years. Ordovician 505, the age of invertebrates. Some important fauna and flora. The origin or first vertebrate example, Ostrocoderms, jawless fishes, invertebrates and marine algae abundant. The period age in million years. Cambrian 544. Some important fauna and flora. The origin of most invertebrate phyla, origin of trilobites. Era. Precambrian, from 570 to 4600 million years ago. The period age in million years. 570. Some important flora and fauna. Diverse algae. Period age in million years. 700. Origin of first mammals. The period age in million years. 1500. Oldest eukaryotic fossils. The period age in million years. 2500. Oxygen begins accumulating in atmosphere. Period age in million years. 3500. Oldest defined fossils known, prokaryotes. The period age in million years. 4600. Approximate origin of Earth. The major events in evolutionary time scale. The earliest cells were primitive anaerobic bacteria. The simple molecules such as carbon dioxide and water were still very abundant as energy in the dilution form of sunlight. Eventually, some cells evolved the ability to use the earth of sunlight to drive the synthesis of their own complex high energy molecules. From simpler molecules, photosynthesis appears. In photosynthesis of blue green algae, water and carbon dioxide converted to organic compounds, releasing carbon dioxide as a byproduct. The accumulation of oxygen in atmosphere provides the environmental pressure for the next great advance in the age of microbes. The major biological event in geological time scale. Era. Cenozoic period. Quaternary. Age of beginning of the period millions of years. 0.01. The major biological events. The subtropical forest gave way to cooler forests and grassland areas. The period Tertiary. The age of beginning of the period millions of years. 65. Major biological events. The modern order of mammal evolved. The human evolved in the last 5 million years. Era. Mesozoic period Cretaceous. Age of beginning of the period millions of years. 135. The major biological events. The continental seas and swamps spread. The extinction of ancient birds and reptiles. Period Jurassic. Age of beginning of the period millions of years. 195. Major biological events. The climate warm and stable. High reptilian diversity. The birds first appears. Period Triassic. The age of beginning of the period millions of years. 240. Major biological events. The climate warm, extensive desert. Dinosaurs replace mammalian like reptiles. First true mammals. Era. Paleozoic period Permian. Age of beginning of the period millions of years. 285. Major biological events. The climate cold early but then warmed. The mammalian like reptiles common. Widespread extinction of amphibians. Period Carboniferous. The age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 375. The major biological events, warm and humid with the extensive cold producing swarms, arthropods and amphibians common. The first reptiles appeared. Period. Devonian. Age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 420. Major biological events, the land high and climate cool, freshwater basins developed, the fish diversified, early amphibians appeared. The period Silurian, age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 450. Major biological events, extensive shallow seas, warm climate, first territorial arthropods, first jawed fish. Ordovician, age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 520. Major biological events, the shallow extensive seas, the climate warmed, many marine invertebrates, jawless fishes were widespread. Period. Cambrian, the age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 570. Major biological events, the extensive shallow seas and warm climate, trilobites and brachiopods common. The earliest vertebrate found late in the Cambrian. Proterozoic era, Proterozoic, age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 2000. Major biological events, multicellular organisms appears and flourish, many invertebrates. The eukaryotic organisms appears 1500 MYA, the oxygen accumulated in the atmosphere. Archeans era, Archeans, age of beginning of the period, millions of years, 4600. Major biological events, the prokaryotic life appears 3500 MYA, origin of years 4600 MYA. Major groups of plants and animals. During the Precambrian era, the unicellular eukaryotic cell containing chloroplasts gave rise to the first multicellular plants. The green, brown, and red algae lining our shoe today, some such as the brown kelp, over 60 meter long, or the descendants of these early multicellular algae. A wide varieties of Precambrian invertebrate animals appears in rocks laid down between 650 to 544 million years ago. Like the Precambrian animals, the first fossils of Cambrian animals revealed in adaptive radiations that had already yielded a diverse array of complex body plan. The co-evolution of predator and prey leads to the increases of sophistications in many kind of animals. The geological period where the major groups of organisms appeared. The Cenozoic, Cretaceous, Mesozoic, Jurassic, Triassic, and Permian, Carboniferous, Devonian, Paleozoic, Silurian, Ordovician, Cambrian. The protist algae and protozoa. The plants, bryophytes, Coelopsid, Lycopsid, Spinosids, ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms. This is the origin of evolutions of plants. Origin of evolutions of animals. Cenozoic, Mesozoic, Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic, Permian, Carboniferous, Devonian, Paleozoic, Silurian, Ordovician, Cambrian. The animals include sponges, graptolites, cnidarians, most animals, brachiopods, molluscs, arthropods, echinoderms, chordates. The evolution of horses based on the fossil evidence. Over the past 50 million years, the horse evolution evolved from small woodland browsers to large plain dwelling grazers. Their major changes include size, leg anatomy, and tooth anatomy. No one is certain while horses becomes large when it may have provided an advantages against predator. In any cases, the large body running over hard plain favor the evolution of large hard hooves attached by spring-like shock observing joints to legs with the stout bones. Finally, the teeth becomes larger with more enamel, reflecting a change in diet from relatively soft leaves and bud of bushes up to abrasive blades of grasses which contains silicones grasses. The fossil record allows horse evolution to be traced back about 60 million years. The Hyracotherium Eohippus was a dog-sized animal with four prominent toes on each foot, a single middle digit of the toe and a vestigial digit on either side of that remains in the modern horses. The evolutionary trend towards increased size, elaboration of molars, and loss of toes are shown together with a hypothetical genealogy of extant and fossil genera. The stages in primate evolution including Homo. The humans or primates, a mammalian group that descends from the shrew-like ancestor. The common ancestor of all modern primates was arboreal and had grasping finger and forwarding facing eye capable of binocular vision. The primate radiates over the last 80 million years to form two major lines of descent, prosimians, lemur, lorises, and tarsiers, and simians as monkey apes and hominids. The earliest hominids appears about 4.4 million years ago. These were the Australopithecines. They gave rise to and coexist with the Homo habilis, the first user of the stone tools. The Homo erectus appears about 1.5 million years ago and was eventually replaced by Homo sapiens with about 3 lakhs years ago. The extincting primates can be divided into 6 subgroups: lemurs, lorises, tarsiers, New World monkey, Old World monkey, and apes and humans. They are 85 million years old. Earliest common ancestor probably looked like a primitive, the small brain version of today's dwarfed lemur. There is much controversy over the interpretation of fossil date from the period of 4 to Maya. The human evolution can now be thought of as a succession of adaptive radiation, some of which were sideline of the modern human lineage, and all but one species becomes extinct. The hominid species with average brain volume: Australopithecus afarensis, brain volume 440 cc. Australopithecus afarensis, 450 brain volume cc. Paranthropus robustus, 520 brain volume cc. Paranthropus boise, 515 cc. Homo rudolfensis, 700 cc. Homo habilis, 575 cc. Homo ergaster, 800 cc. Homo erectus, 1100 cc. Homo Heidelbergensis 1250 cc, Homo neanderthalensis 1550 cc, Homo sapiens 1450 cc. The hominoid skull showing several of the best known hominoid lines preceding the modern humans Homo sapiens. The Homo sapiens Pleistocene. Homo sapien, modern skeleton, brain size 1100 to 1700 ml, 10,000 1 lakh years to present. The Homo erectus, robustus build, fully erected, brain size 750 to 1200 ml, 1.7 to 0.25 million years. The Pleistocene, Homo habilis, robust build, probably fully erect, brain size 510 to 750 mi, 1.9 to 1.6 million years. Paranthropus robustus, heavy build, long arms, bipedal, brain size 530 mi, 1.9 to 1.5 million years. Australopithecus grahi, bipedal, used stone tools, brain size circa 600 mi, 2.5 million years. The Australopithecus africanus, the light build, long arms, bipedal, brain size 400 to 500 mi, 3 to 2.3 million years. Australopithecus africanus, the light build, long arm, bipedal, brain size 400 to 500 mi, 3.7 to 3 million years. The Australopithecus ramidus, possibly bipedal, brain size unknown, 4.4 million years. The Australopithecus anamensis, probably bipedal, brain size unknown, 4.2 to 3.9 million years. And it is